Formation, whether in a community, a company, or a single person's life, begins with a simple question: why? Not what we want to change, not how we hope to change it, but why it matters in the first place, because vision is not a strategy, vision is a cause, a belief, something deep inside us that refuses to be quiet. It is that inner voice that whispers, things can be better, and I can help make them better. When we talk about empowering vision, we're not talking about dreaming big for the sake of big dreams. We're talking about awakening a sense of purpose, one powerful enough to move us, inspire us, and unite others around us. Positive change doesn't begin with authority, it begins with responsibility. It begins the moment we stop waiting for someone else to take the first step and decide, I will go first. Real leadership, authentic leadership, is not about standing at the front. It is about lighting the way so others feel safe enough to walk with you. It's about creating an environment where people rediscover their own courage, their own potential, their own hope. When people feel valued, they grow. When people feel trusted, they rise. When people feel connected to a purpose bigger than themselves, they change the world. Empowering vision means helping others see what you see even when the road ahead is unclear. It means showing them not the obstacles, but the possibilities, not the risk, but the reason, not the pressure, but the purpose. And here is the truth: positive change is rarely immediate. It's often uncomfortable. It will challenge you, expose you, and test your resilience, but it will also reveal your strength, your creativity, and your capacity to inspire. You don't inspire others by being perfect. You inspire them by being genuine, by standing firm in your purpose even when the path is uncertain. We must remind ourselves that vision without action is a wish. Action without vision is chaos, but vision with action, guided by purpose, becomes transformation. Today, each of us has a choice. We can be passive observers of the world we live in, or we can be architects of the world we want to see. Empowering vision means lifting others as you climb. Inspiring positive change means leading with humility, compassion, and conviction. It means believing that a better future is not only possible, it is our responsibility to create it. So let us move forward with courage, let us speak with clarity, let us act with purpose, and let us inspire change not by demanding it, but by embodying it, because when we understand our why, when we share it boldly, and when we live it consistently, we ignite a movement, one that empowers vision, transforms lives, and shapes a future worth believing in. Here are ***, the 3 keynotes *** not expanded, as previously requested. 1. ***, purpose-driven vision ignites meaningful and lasting change. **2. Empowered people become catalysts for collective transformation. 3. Positive change thrives when courage and clarity work together. Now here is the **900 word expansion of keynote #1**, no headings, no ending sentences. A purpose-driven vision ignites meaningful and lasting change because it moves people in a way that logic alone cannot. Vision by itself is simply an image of a better future, but when that vision is rooted in purpose, it becomes a force capable of shifting mindsets, influencing behavior, and inspiring movement. Purpose gives vision its heartbeat. It gives direction to our energy, clarity to our choices, and resilience to our struggles. Without purpose, even the most ambitious goals feel empty, and even the most determined individuals eventually lose direction. But when people understand why something matters at the deepest level, they find strength in moments of pressure, hope in moments of doubt, and motivation in moments of fatigue. Purpose makes a person show up even when results are not guaranteed, praise is not offered, and progress feels slow. Meaningful change does not begin with instructions or plans. It begins with the internal belief that what we are doing holds value beyond tasks, numbers, or recognition. When a vision is fueled by purpose, people connect not to the work itself, but to what the work represents. This is why movements start, why teams unite, and why individuals push beyond their perceived limits. People don't commit because they are told to. They commit because something within them resonates with the cause. They see themselves in the mission, they feel part of its story, they internalize the belief that their effort contributes to something significant. Purpose-driven vision transforms followers into believers and workers into ambassadors. It turns small steps into meaningful progress and everyday actions into acts of contribution. A vision grounded in purpose also creates consistency. When challenges arise, as they always do, purpose acts as the anchor that keeps the vision steady. Without it, challenges cause hesitation, doubt, and eventually abandonment of the goal. But with purpose present, obstacles are not signs to stop. They are simply signals that the journey is worthwhile. People with purpose do not collapse under discomfort. They learn, adjust, and continue. Purpose gives them the emotional endurance to navigate uncertainty, the patience to embrace the process, and the courage to stand firm when circumstances become intimidating. It reminds them that the journey itself holds meaning, not just the destination. Purpose-driven vision also inspires trust, because people are naturally drawn to those who stand for something larger than themselves. When others see that your vision is not about ego, status, or control, but about impact, contribution, and improvement, they feel safe to follow. They feel encouraged to participate. They become willing to challenge their limitations because your vision does not pressure them, it elevates them. When leaders communicate a purpose that aligns with human values, growth, dignity, meaning, contribution, they create a space where people feel that their efforts matter. They feel part of a shared mission rather than cogs in a system. This sense of belonging is one of the most powerful drivers of change because people fight harder for something they believe in than something they simply work for. A purpose-driven vision sparks creativity. When people believe deeply in why, they naturally seek better how. They experiment, adapt, and think boldly. Purpose liberates imagination because it removes the fear of failure. Failure becomes part of progress rather than proof of inadequacy. People are motivated to innovate not because they want praise, but because they want impact. They care about improving things, not just completing things. They think beyond tasks, deadlines, and procedures. Their focus shifts from what do I need to do to what difference can I make. That shift is where innovation begins. Purpose gives vision a human dimension. Numbers may motivate temporarily, but meaning motivates sustainably. People do not wake up excited for percentages, charts, or metrics. They wake up inspired by the belief that they are contributing to something worthwhile. They want to know that their actions ripple outward and create benefits beyond themselves. A purpose-driven vision allows them to connect their everyday effort to a larger narrative. It transforms routine into contribution and work into purpose-driven action. Lasting change is rarely the result of force. It is the result of alignment between values, intentions, and actions. When people act from purpose, their decisions naturally reflect integrity. Their behavior becomes consistent. They do what is right, not what is convenient. They make choices that support the vision, not their comfort. They trade short-term ease for long-term impact. This alignment builds momentum because each action reinforces the next. Purpose-driven people do not need constant supervision or pressure. Their motivation is internal, not external. They move because the cause moves them. A vision fueled by purpose also creates connection across communities, teams, and individuals. People from different backgrounds can unite under a shared purpose, even if their experiences differ. Purpose becomes the common language that transcends status, culture, and roles. It gives everyone a place in the mission. It reminds each person that they matter and that their voice contributes to the whole. When people unite around a purpose, barriers shrink, communication deepens, and collaboration strengthens. Change spreads because people feel emotionally invested rather than structurally obligated. Purpose-driven vision has longevity. Trends fade, pressure loses effectiveness, motivators weaken, but purpose endures because it is rooted in identity and belief. It creates change that does not collapse when a leader leaves, when conditions shift, or when resources fluctuate. It becomes part of the culture, part of the mindset, part of the collective DNA. The change lasts because the belief lasts. It becomes generational instead of situational, internal instead of imposed, lived instead of instructed. Empowered people become catalysts for collective transformation because empowerment awakens a sense of ownership that changes how individuals see themselves and their role in the world. When people feel trusted, valued, and capable, they do not wait for instructions or permission. They step forward with initiative and confidence. They begin to see challenges not as burdens but as opportunities to contribute. Empowerment turns passive participants into active problem solvers, and that shift alone can reshape an entire environment. When a person believes their voice matters and their actions create impact, they naturally elevate the energy, motivation, and vision of the people around them. Empowered individuals influence others not by force, but by example. Their behavior becomes a form of silent leadership. When someone is driven by a sense of purpose and confidence, others feel encouraged to explore their own potential. Empowerment spreads socially, almost like a positive chain reaction. One person's courage inspires another's. One person's initiative sparks someone else's. This is how collective momentum forms, not through pressure, but through inspiration. Empowerment is contagious because it awakens something universal in people, the desire to grow, to contribute, to matter. People who feel empowered naturally build stronger relationships because they communicate with clarity rather than fear. They share ideas openly, collaborate willingly, and support others without insecurity. This creates a culture where strengths are multiplied rather than hidden. In such an environment, creativity flourishes, trust strengthens, and progress accelerates. Teams become more unified because everyone feels safe enough to bring their full selves into the work. Collective transformation happens not when a few people act boldly, but when many people feel capable of acting at all. Empowerment also shifts the emotional climate. Instead of hesitation, there is confidence. Instead of doubt, there is possibility. Instead of silence, there is contribution. People stop asking, "What should I do?" and start asking, "How can I help move this forward?" That mindset is powerful because it aligns the efforts of individuals with the needs of the group. It creates a shared responsibility for progress, a shared commitment to improvement, and a shared belief in what is possible. Ultimately, empowered people lift others as they rise. They create space for others to grow. They encourage potential where it hasn't yet been recognized, and they transform ordinary moments into opportunities for collective advancement. When empowerment is present, change does not depend on a single leader. It becomes the natural outcome of a community that believes in its own strength. Positive change thrives when courage and clarity work together because both qualities strengthen each other and create a foundation for meaningful progress. Courage alone can spark action, but without clarity, that action becomes scattered, reactive, and inconsistent. Clarity alone can provide direction, but without courage, direction remains theoretical and unused. When the two combine, they create a powerful force that moves people from intention to transformation. Clarity shows us where to go, and courage gives us the strength to take the first step. Together, they turn a possibility into a path and a path into progress. Clarity gives purpose shape. It helps us understand not only what we are aiming for, but why it matters. It removes the fog of confusion and replaces it with a sense of direction that stabilizes decisions and anchors motivation. When people gain clarity, they stop wasting energy on doubts and distractions. They can see what aligns with the vision and what doesn't. They can choose with confidence, plan with intention, and communicate with focus. Clarity makes the future feel reachable rather than overwhelming because it breaks the vision into understandable meaning. But clarity alone does not make change happen. Knowing the right path does not create movement. Stepping onto the path does. That is where courage enters. Courage is the willingness to act in the presence of uncertainty. It is the inner strength that pushes us forward when outcomes are unknown and comfort zones are threatened. Courage does not eliminate fear. It teaches us to move despite it. Every meaningful change, personal or collective, requires risking something familiar for something better. Courage is the force that makes this shift possible. It helps us challenge old habits, confront difficult truths, and endure temporary discomfort for long-term improvement. It reminds us that growth is never painless but always worth it. Courage transforms clarity from a concept into a commitment. When courage and clarity work together, they create momentum. Clarity tells us what the next step should be, and courage ensures we take it. Each step builds confidence, and each bit of confidence strengthens the next step. This cycle fuels progress because it replaces hesitation with action and replaces fear-driven decisions with purpose-driven ones. People begin to trust themselves more, collaborate more boldly, and communicate more honestly. They stop operating from reaction and begin operating from intention. This internal shift becomes the foundation for external change. Positive change thrives in environments where people feel both sure of the direction and strong enough to move toward it. Clarity provides the map, courage provides the movement. When teams, communities, or individuals have both, they become resilient. They can handle setbacks without losing direction and face challenges without losing heart. They adapt faster because they know what must remain constant, the purpose, and what can be flexible, the approach. This balance allows change to be both steady and innovative. When courage and clarity coexist, they inspire others as well. People follow leaders who speak with conviction and act with bravery. They trust those who communicate a clear vision and then live by it consistently. This combination creates emotional safety and collective confidence. It encourages others to step forward, speak up, contribute ideas, and challenge limits. Change becomes shared rather than isolated. It becomes sustainable rather than temporary. It becomes meaningful rather than cosmetic. Ultimately, positive change thrives when courage and clarity work together because they form the foundation of every transformation. They empower people to see what is possible and then move boldly toward it. They turn uncertainty into exploration, obstacles into lessons, and challenges into catalysts for something better.